English Dictation 120 words per minute. Passage A. Ready, start. The salesman in commerce has a great responsibility on his shoulders. He is expected to sell the goods made by his company, and he is also the main link between the factory and the buyer. Thus, he is responsible for creating and maintaining a very friendly relationship between his company and its customers. The customer's opinion of the company represented by the salesman is mostly influenced by the actions and business methods of the salesman. The standing of a company is usually judged by the appearance, personality, and method of its representatives. The salesman must have a thorough knowledge of the product to be sold and a complete understanding of his company's own sales policy and the policies of its competitors. The work demands a thorough grasp of the uses to which the product can be put, method of manufacture, and its bad point if any. The person about to take up salesmanship as a career should realize that he is a key man in the industry and as such must organize his work on a sound basis. The fact that most of the time he would be working away from the office or factory makes it necessary for him to be a disciplined hard worker, self-reliant, and above all a good organizer. Para. The beginner should dismiss from his mind the false idea that selling goods is merely a matter of personality, approach, conduct, and manner of talking certainly influence a sales to some extent, but successfully salesmanship must be scientifically planned and carried out. Goods cannot be sold on personality alone. Another wrong impression is that good salesmen are born, not made. It is true that certain people show an aptitude for selling, but they would still be unsuccessful if they failed to plan scientifically and if they paid no attention to the hard work that must be done. Before any sales is made, initiative is an essential qualification for good salesmanship. The salesman cannot ask advice or rely on other persons when making a call. He must change his attitude to suit that of the prospective buyer whose mood is always changing. He should, by his attitude and words, impress the buyer that he is not so much selling a product as offering a service. In addition, he must always be ready and willing to offer sound and helpful advice. A salesman should have good general knowledge and must be sincere at all times. Para. The most difficult job in salesmanship is to secure the first interview. The usual method is to make an appointment by telephone or letter. Some salesmen believe in calling on the prospective customer without making an appointment, but in the business stress of today, the time of all business executive is fully occupied, and as such it is the salesman's own interest to seek an interview and to call by appointment only. Stop. Ready, start. Ladies and gentlemen, your directors have already told you that the net profit of rupees 15 crores is the highest in your company's history. It also happens to be the largest profit of any Indian shipping company in the public or private sector. This year, shareholders of a company that has achieved a double first of this kind can have nothing to complain about, and on your behalf it only remains for me to thank our managers and the staff for their excellent performance. Para. When I look back to the progress of past 2 gloomy years, I can only marvel at the resilience of the shipping industry. Our ply then was desperate. The government had totally withdrawn all support, even that which was promised to us in writing. I believe that without the backing of our shareholders and the dedicated energy of our managers, we could have gone under. But we took a series of measures to pull ourselves together. The heart of our problem was our own too expensive ships. The market was calamitous and the drain on our cash resource was such that we were losing our core of rupees per month. We tackled the problem first by perusing our bankers to reschedule our loans, though at a considerable expense. Secondly, we set up a management board consisting of the chairman, deputy chairman, and all our senior manager who met regularly every week to continuously review all aspects of the company's affairs. Third, we opened a branch in London to guide our sales branch and tanker development and give us a view from abroad on the company. All these steps have been successful. The slump of the last 3 years has forced us to recognize our management in a way that will prove very beneficial to us in the longer term. The diversification of our management to include a team of senior officers has led to much more open management where our officers have an equal say with your workings directors. I want this process to intensify and continue so that we shall have a team capable of handling the most difficult problems. Further, we have not spared ourselves from a self-critical approach. We have realized from our own observations and we are reminded by our London office from time to time that ship owners in other parts of world have managed things better than we do in Great Eastern. For example, the time we spent in repairs is still far too high compared with efficient Scandinavian owners. One reason for this is the extraordinarily cumbersome procedure of processing application for foreign exchange and import of spare. We have in turn to keep reminding both our floating staff and our London office that operating a fleet from India is not half as simple as they think. But this dialogue between our different managers has done a great deal of good. Stop.